guys, we're here with my boy Drew, who recently finished first place in a box tournament and now 9th place at OTS Championship, just missing top cut. How are you liking heroes for this format?
I like them. I think they still perform well. The change that I've made this format, though, is we're going second.
Oh, okay. All right, well, let's get right to the profile.
So for elemental heroes, playing 3 Stratos.
Wow, so pretty.
2 Shadow Mist, 1 Liquid, and 1 Honest Neos.
Okay. Self-explanatory, I guess.
Some people play less than this. I think in going second, this is a 46 card list. So to maximize your odds of seeing this card and seeing combo, I think 3 works. Also, there's a lot of trap decks in the format. Some people playing trap tricks now. I played that for the first time today. And a lot of people playing Labyrinth. So when you get turn skipped via D-barrier or something, you need to be able to keep popping the back row and dealing with that. So I think that's why I'm playing 3. I really just want to be able to pop with Stratos every turn or as frequently as possible. Now for the more standard stuff, we'll go through the Vision heroes. We have 3 Ferris, 2 Increase, 2 Vion. Some people play 1 Increase. I typically like playing 1 Increase, but for going second, I really think that you need to resolve this card, and you don't want it to get banished off the top by Kashtira, which is not good. So we play 2 Increase. For the Destiny heroes, none other than, of course, 2 Mali, 1 Denier. I main Dark Angel, even though I'm going second, and Plasma.
Okay.
Now the reason why we main this going second is just some people at locals have figured out that I'm going second and will make me go first. Okay. So then I Dark Angel Kashtira. Also, when you evenly some decks like Kashtira or even Branded, you need something to do to, you need a board to put them on. So you just give them Dark Angel after you evenly them. In terms of monster hand traps, we have 3 Ash Blossom. I thought this card was too solid this format not to play. Ash on Branded Fusion, Ash on some of the Welcome Labyrinths. I think it's just a solid form of interruption, so I like it. For the spells, we have, of course, 1 Miracle Fusion. That is standard. 3 Fusion Destiny, also standard. Very good card. 3 Mass Change. Very good into the trap decks. So you definitely want to play that, even though you're going second. Yeah, great for dodging cards, and a lot of good interactions with this card, even with things like, I want to say Book of Eclipse. Some people think that this card won't resolve if it's something is booked. It says at the bottom of the card, if face down, it still looks at the card and will special summon. 3 Hero Lives, that's also standard. Played just the 1 Poly. I guess that's a bit risky, but if it gets banished, I guess it gets banished. My rationale for that is because going into the other cards, I'm playing 3 Triple Tactics Thrust. Reason for that, this is a big reason for going second. I think this card's insane in this deck. It gets you to so many things. It gets you to board breakers, it gets us to Poly if we get interrupted on Increase, it gets us to a Hero Lives, it gets us to Fusion Destiny, it gets us to Miracle Fusion. It gets us to all our fusion spells, so that's why I don't mind playing just the 1 Poly. So if it does get banished, I feel like I have a good chance that I can still play, and I'm okay with taking that risk in a 46 card deck. Aside from that, we have the 3 Book of Eclipse. This has been a solid board breaker this format. It's great into cash and good into a lot of decks, so I like it. Also, it's kind of like Mass Change where you can dodge some stuff with this, which is fun, and you can still tribute with Increase even when your cards are face down, because you can tribute face down cards, even Cross Crusader. A lot of people don't know that, so you can use this to dodge and still go through your combo, which is cool. And then the 1 Rhoda. And then lastly, we have 3 Imperm. This is another very solid form of interruption. I like it. And it works. It kind of doubles up as a board breaker as well. It complements the other ones. And then we main 3 evenly matched.
Okay.
This is really good into the back row deck, so I thought might as well play it. It's not always good into Kashtira because now they're kind of ending on just a Rise Heart sometimes, but if they go for a bigger board, it has an impact on that too. I loved its impact into the back row decks, which seem to be a little bit more frequent or common at locals, maybe because it's a little bit more accessible. But it's still good against cash too, so I love it for that. It's just a solid board breaker, and then you can Dark Angel or kind of leave them on a board afterwards. For the deck, or I guess we'll go through the side deck first. So side deck, this is kind of a very last minute janky side deck. I play 1 Nib and 2 Contact C.
Okay, how'd that work out?
This was originally 3 Nib, but I don't love Nib in Heroes. It's better going first than it is going second. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and play something that is good into branded and cash and doesn't lock me out of like using Hero Lives. So I thought I would try this. The reason I went with 2 is because based on my siding patterns, it only ever came up that I'd be putting, I only had 2 slots for this against branded. And then additionally, I guess before I get to the other hand traps, I'm also playing 3 crossout, so I needed to play the 3rd Nib anyways, because there's no way I'm not playing Nib for crossout. So it looks jank, but it kind of made sense. I played 3 Crow as well. I don't love this card, but it's for the branded lock. It's not bad into other things, I guess. I just tried it today. It was okay. Again, mainly worried about the branded lock. The reason you don't play Bestials in Heroes is because it either locks you on your turn out of using things like Cross Crusader or Ferris, and you can't use Hero Lives. So, I mean, we got to play Crow if we're going to do something like that, or Bell. I don't like Bell on branded in red as much as Crow, though, I think. So I tried this today. I think Bell's a little bit better into Labyrinth, maybe. So I'm on the fence about that. Other cards, some general board breakers. These are both targets for Thrust. So having these in your deck, Thrust is just more copies of them, which is great. I played the Call By as well. And then lastly, I play Eradicator. So I was trying out this card in both tournaments, and I really like it because it's not bad into cash. It's mainly for going first. It's okay into cash, but into the trap decks, it's just like, it's a sweep. It's very, very good. It's not hard to make. You just make Dread Decimator and then tribute it, or you get Honest Neos to pump one of your Dark Heroes, tribute it off, and then, well, you call traps, and it's pretty good. Or you call spells, depending on the deck. So sometimes if you see this and you don't have access to Dark Angel, you don't need to combo for that, which is nice as well. So that's the side. Oh, also the last thing about this card, Labyrinth will debarrier us, and they have a lot more access to that than we do this, but I felt like this was one of the only good answers to that. So if they're going to ruin or they're going to get rid of a part of my archetype, hopefully if we see this, we can do this back to them. Because you just make Dread Decimator and then tribute it off and, you know, take out part of their archetype. So that was my idea. Lastly, extra deck is honestly pretty standard. The Link monsters, we have 1 Dread, 2 Cross, 1 Driver. This is just a super standard ratio. No need to explain that. Elemental Heroes, I play 2 Sunrise and 1 Ab-Zero. This is a little weird. I saw an OCG deck do this that actually topped a pretty major event there in the midst of the tier format, I think, and when they had Kashtira as well. It's really much better follow-up than Escurito. Escurito hasn't come up for me like since I cut it for one of these, and it's very good follow-up, especially even when you get nibbed to keep pushing for games. So I like the 2 Sunrise. This is great for me. Destiny Heroes, we play the 2 DPE. Unicorn is a card. Gotta play 2 now. But also, you can make 2. You have enough names to make 2. So you can keep resolving Fusion Destiny. And since we essentially have 6 copies of Fusion Destiny now because of Thrust, that might actually happen. Masked Heroes, I play the 2 Dark Claws and then the Blast and Acid. These are great, you know, in archetype cards for the back row matchup. This deck does so well into back row, so I think you have to play these for that. This is also just great at forcing back row into decks like Branded even. And then lastly, Dystopia. Its pop effect actually came up today. It's more value. I actually hard made it with Poly against Labyrinth to keep popping cards in their field. So that was good. And then Trinity. It's kind of just there because it's a great OTK boss monster still, even though it doesn't come up as much as tier format. But I learned today that the Trap Tricks deck has protection on their Link 1, and it's not optional with the field spell. So you just game them with this. in terms of the numbers, I played 46 in the main. Reasoning for that was I think that I'm trying to remember the numbers that I came up with. That still gives me a 30% chance at opening one of my 3-ofs, which I was very okay with taking. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm really trying to recall these numbers when I made this list. It gives me a 60% chance at seeing 2 board breakers and imperm doubles as both. So that was very good odds that I liked. And thrust again gives you access to so many important 3-ofs. So because of that, I think we can play a little bit more of a bigger deck size and still be able to stay playable. The deck's been incredibly consistent, so I love it. I think going second is much better than blinding first and hoping Dark Angel sticks. Post side, you can always just go for Dark Angel after you know what you're playing, when you're playing Branded or you're playing Keshtira. But I think the main deck going second is very versatile and strong into everything, and Heroes going second feels much more consistent and explosive, puts a lot of pressure than I think going first sometimes. So I've been enjoying that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the deck profile, Drew. Any last shout outs?
To my team, Cardboard Cravings.
Awesome. Thank you.